Hey, everybody, welcome back to the For the Long Haul podcast. This is Blaine sitting alongside,
Brandon.
and he's got his cup of Joe in his coffee mug. But what's going on? Oh, yeah, by the way, this is the Before the Long Haul portion. It's a segment that we do for 5 minutes. We just kind of like catch up and or talk about various things lightly and then cut off at 5 minutes in. And then we will hit the main portion of today's episode, which is the title you saw. So what's up, Brandon?
Nothing much. How about you?
Well, doing good. Um, doing good as good can do, I guess.
Yep. Any update on everybody for the job hunt?
I don't have. I had one lead that was really good. Didn't end up working out. I don't remember if we said that last. I think we did.
Which one
Um,
was it?
that was the one with the company that is a middleman for guides
Oh, okay, okay.
and
I don't know if you mentioned it on camera or not, but I know you did mention that to me.
yeah. So that one unfortunately didn't end up working out. I think though I think I nailed it the whole way through, and I think I would have had it, but it sounded like the way the email was worded that they decide. I think they convinced this person that was going to leave because they had two slots. I think they filled one already, so they had one more left. But the person who was leaving, they said, I think they convinced him to stay because the way the email was worded wasn't like we decided not to go with you. They said they decided not to fill the position. So something made them decide to not fill the extra slot. So, but yeah, they definitely I killed the interviews and everything, killed it. So that was a shame. But that's okay. That means better things are coming. But yeah, still looking around. I'm actually working on getting um my like insurance license for like claims.
Oh, did buddy get to you on that and tell you what to do?
Yeah, I went and talked to him and about what he's got going on. Unfortunately, he's moved to another company, which has substantially helped him financially.
Oh no, yeah,
But
he's told me about that. I think I mentioned that to you whenever you were in town. It would have been 2 weeks whenever this airs, but Blaine was in town a weekend ago for his birthday. Yay! He's older
hey,
now.
yep, that's right. But yeah, I was in town, so I'm getting a Texas all lines insurance, and so it comes with a bunch of different coverages and stuff like that. But basically, auto insurance is like the easiest one everybody knows about. But yeah, so he talked to me about that and everything. I asked him a bunch of questions and stuff. He was like, he's like, there's a lot of opportunity here, especially like, who do you know that ever? He didn't say this, but this is my thought process, and he kind of said some stuff that helped me build this process. Is like, who do you know that is going to be like, I'm going to be an insurance adjuster?
He literally talked to me. I think those were literally his words to me whenever he was telling me about this
Uh huh.
and why I should consider it.
Well, he's just like, he didn't say that to me. He just said there's a lot of upwards mobility because he had like 10 people retire and 2 people die since he's been doing this for like 2 years.
He didn't tell me
Uh,
about the die. He told me about the retirement.
he texted me that. I mean, like, who is becoming like an
No,
insurance
no
adjuster?
nobody going to college or high school is like, yo, I want to become an insurance adjuster when I grow up.
Exactly. So
It's
like,
not desirable.
and who knows about it? Really, that's the other side of it. Like, I mean, unless somebody you talk to like that tells you about it, like you just don't think about that. So there's just a lot of old people in the field is pretty much how it sounds to me and what he's saying. Because I'm not in the field. But so I was like, that sounds pretty great. And then he moving around, pay was done really well for him. Starting pay is okay. I mean,
Job
every
hunting, like I think we talked about one time.
yeah,
Actually, you're seeing somebody do it and it's
yeah.
helping them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the survey shows that you'll make double past the end of your life if you don't stay at the same place for 30 years.
Yeah.
Uh, but um, But yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that because right now my largest problem is, and this honestly could have been like the topic of the video itself, but for something different, is that like I just feel like a boat drifting in the ocean. Like I know if I go a certain direction, I'm gonna find land, I think. But like I really don't know which way I should be floating or driving my boat. And this kind
Mm.
of that goes around like an Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. Like you have to know where you're going point A to point B. We won't get into that. But that's my thoughts from there. But yeah, I just like don't know where I'm headed. I have a lot of experience in different areas, but I'm like a jack of all trades and master of nothing because I've been in so many different spots. So I'm good at a lot, but I'm not like I'm an accountant. Go find an accounting job is an experience I use a lot. And so that part sucks. So like this is like, okay, this will give me some direction. I'm gonna try to do this, pinpoint this. Um, yeah. So we're at 5:15. I was trying to give you a couple seconds to say something,
No, no,
but
no, no. I thought you were still going on. I was about to start doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But anyway,
no,
you
no, no.
guys, welcome back to For the Long Haul podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today's gonna be basically we couldn't really think of a good topic unless you have one off the top of your head right now, Blaine.
No, I've got a couple of rabbit holes if that's what you're talking about.
Okay, so we're gonna do some rabbit hole episodes. So if this isn't exactly what you're looking for, stick around, listen to us, help us out. If not, we'll see you guys next week and all that. But I'm Brandon alongside.
Blaine.
Uh,
So so rabbit hole episode really is just an opportunity for us to touch a topic that can be thought provoking and just kind of dig into it about what are our different thought processes in it and just see where it takes us. So I don't know how long we would talk about this one in particular. I should probably pull up one more thing about it to help keep me on track. But what I wanted to talk about was something Victoria, that's my lovely girlfriend, told me, and she showed me this really cool TikTok, and it's called the egg theory. Have you heard of the egg theory before?
I literally saw some. I know, but I literally have been seeing a bunch of theories go out recently, like the orange peel theory, which it didn't ever explain to it. It was just like basically like a girlfriend asking her. It was basically somebody asking the other significant other, "Is okay? Do we have any oranges?" He was like, let me check," and it never would explain what it is, and I'm like,
But that's not the you're talking about the orange thing? The egg
"Yeah,
theory, and that's different.
okay."
She showed me that video too, funny enough.
'Cause I don't know.
That video is what she's talking about, at least her interpretation of it, which I think is sounds correct. Is that video is just is your significant other willing to do what things for you without you like blatantly asking, or just if you were to like, oh, I want an orange man, I don't really want to peel it. Do they just like love you enough and care for you enough, or want to serve you enough to literally just be like, I'll peel you an orange, no big deal. And
Okay.
that's what that's really about. And in that video, that person was I don't know if it's acting or not, but that person in that video was just like, I'm not peeling you an orange. And
Well, see,
you
mine
know,
they ended up just cutting the orange into slices and all that.
I think the one that she was watching, I'm sure there's tons of them, because once something gets big, everyone does it. Is the one that she was showing me? He didn't pass the test. I think it's called the orange test or something. Excuse me. So, but
And
yeah,
but what's
that's
the
what that's
egg
about.
the egg theory and all that?
All right, man. The egg theory. I've never known about this till she showed me this, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is very interesting." So let's see. How do I want to approach this? Um, well, if we want to put it, storytelling is more interesting though. So I'll try not to put it in one tiny sentence right off the bat. But essentially, you are who we are now, right? We're one person. We live this one life, right? And essentially, what happens is you go through your life and everything. We got people that are mean to us, that are nice to us, that we love, that we hate, and all that stuff. And we go all the way through our life, make all these connections, and then we die, right? Well, then you are reincarnated. You reincarnate into another person. And so the egg theory essentially means that everyone that you come in contact with is you that has been at some point in existence. And you are reincarnated into every single person that you've ever met over a lifetime until you've experienced like every one of them. And then once you're still growing and learning about everything. And then once you've been in everyone's shoes, like you've grown enough to be born.
So it seems to be taking the philosophy of I think it's Hinduism or Buddhism a little
Uh-huh.
bit about reincarnation, but modifying it because they'll believe in reincarnation is basically a caste system, and basically the worse or better you are, you either move up or move down until you reach enlightenment, and then you stop being reincarnated once you reach enlightenment.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I need to read this story. So this is by Andy Weir.
But
So that's a familiar name. It's some kind of
I
who is this
I
guy?
understand it, but
A
I don't
novelist.
understand it.
Here's something I want to. This is so the video I watched. took this. So this is like a short story made by Andy Weir.
Yeah.
And this gave me like the first time I heard it, like tingles and stuff like that because it, you feel it. So Andy Weir, if I'm saying that right, I think I am an American novelist. Oh wow, he wrote the Martian. I love The Martian. The Martian's a good
Wait,
movie.
The Martian that was based that became a movie?
Yep, he wrote The
Oh.
Martian.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead and let's. This is a very short story. I think this is going to be like a 2 minute read. I think it would really help if we read it.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is I watched this and it's like it's crazy. So all right, so this is somebody talking to essentially yourself or me in the scenario. So we start off with someone talking to you. So you're not talking to them. So you were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident, nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. And that's where you met me. And it's just like he's waking up now. So, like, wait, what happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter of factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck and it was skidding. Yep, I said. I I died? Yep, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You look around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids? My wife? You said. I didn't do a very good job with that one. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I don't look like God. I just look like some man, or possibly a woman, some vague authority figure, maybe more of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but you will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage is falling apart. And if it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So we're halfway through. So, what's the point then? You asked. When I get reborn, I'll just take a blank slate, right? I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby? So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter? Not so, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past life. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you could possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and what you bring back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you start remembering everything, but there's no point to doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. Lots and lots. And in lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where you come from, you said. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else. And there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So, what's the point of it all? Seriously? You asked. Seriously? You're asking me for the meaning of life? Isn't that a little stereotypical?
42.
Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stare blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived, or will, or who will ever live? Yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln? And you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler? You said, appalled. And you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus? And you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimize someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was, or will be, experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? You asked me. Why do all this? Because someday you will become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I am a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe, you said. It's just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And I sent you on your way.
Really deep.
Isn't that fucking cool?
It is, but also confusing, but not confusing at the same time.
I think it's freaking crazy. I think it's so thought provoking and interesting. I think it's amazing.
It is an incredible short story, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I think it was a little too on the nose to say "you are my child."
Yeah, I thought the "You Are My Child" part, I agree with that.
But see, not because I don't think because okay. So here's the thing. Because I honestly, because like, damn it, because like, basically, you know, church and all that, you basically always says, "Oh, we're all God's child," and you know that saying, "Oh, I am a God, you are my child." I was like, okay, that's really on the nose. I
Okay.
understand why, like but a little on the nose, but I get why.
Mhm. Yeah.
But also, I think it's something that I have to say this. I can't. I have to write this. It's not something I can go without saying. And like how often am I gonna get this chance?
Yeah. Yeah, could be. Obviously, I don't know how he's thinking, but yeah, this is, I that was cool to even read again, to
But that
re-experience that.
was really deep.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? That's
Hmm.
why I explained it, and then I looked this up just for a little bit of, make sure I was on track, and then I just found it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." I was like, "Oh, it's not that long, I gotta read this."
Hmm.
So, I don't know, man. What are some thoughts besides the nose?
At first, I was confused a little bit, to be honest. Whenever you were explaining it, whenever you're saying you are everybody to ever exist, but then reading it, it made more sense.
It, like, lines it up to where it can make sense
Yeah,
in a way that I didn't think of how to explain it.
I don't know, I think it's just something that's. I don't think it's something that's supposed to give you an answer. No, it's supposed to be something that makes you think. Maybe think of the way how you treat everybody afterwards and all that.
I think that's part of the takeaways of the author's intention here is to take away about how you treat everybody because you could be doing that to yourself.
Yeah.
And in some sense of a way, you are doing it to yourself, even without in respect that that is you in another lifetime and you have no idea, but just even in respect to the sense that you taking such negative energy and casting it onto somebody, you have to embody the negative energy yourself. And that in turn hurts yourself as well in your mental state.
Really deep.
Yeah. I love it's awesome. I just reading it again was a joy, honestly.
What's the next one you got?
Well, I think this will be a two section one. We got our first one. This will be the second topic, and this may be the end of it here. I got to this next thought provoking bit here. I was going to say statement or whatever. Really, is a question. Because I've been watching Rick and Morty. It's on Hulu now, and uh, and then I combined this one kind of with something else that I saw, and just made a topic out of the hybrid of the both, which is funny how I got to this
You know,
because it's
wait.
also the question.
Okay, quick spoiler warning for anybody. What
Wait,
happened in the season you're watching right now?
hold on. Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm on the last episode now. Jesus, I gotta recall everything. I don't know.
Well, like,
He finally killed. Well, you
okay,
watched
that's
it.
what I need. That's what I need to know.
He
I need to know
killed the
which
other
season you.
Rick.
That's what I need to know. Now I know where you at.
Well,
I just want.
I'm on the last season, right? Season 7.
Yeah, yeah, the last current season.
Yeah. Okay, and I think he's
Spoiler
about to.
warning. Spoiler warning over. That's what I
Okay.
just need to know because, like, I literally just watched film theories episode about the last season, about season 7 yesterday, and like how they analyzed it and like what the kind of main theme was. Oh, they think the main theme was
Uh
of the
huh.
episode was. I want to see how you kind of align with it. Go.
How I align with the main theme of
Well,
that
because
episode?
yeah, well, like the entire season, because I feel like you may be hitting that, or you may be going into that territory.
I don't know. I don't think I'm entirely going into that territory, but I see where you're kind of going, and it's cool. So, how do I feel about
No,
what's
no, well, no.
going on?
Continue what what
Oh,
you were saying, the
okay.
question and all that.
Oh, so essentially leading up to my topic I put together here, and I don't think it's exactly what you're looking for, but I thought about A with technology and B with ethics. I thought a little bit about Elon Musk and stuff like that, and then Rick and Morty kind of coming in and stuff Rick has going on and helps other people with. But like, what is too far in terms of technological integration?
Okay, okay. See, okay. I thought you were gonna go after that one. I thought you were gonna go like about something like healing or self healing and all that. Because like they were kind of like saying this season, like they thought the season of Rick and Morty is basically like him healing and then moving past his trauma. I
Uh
thought you were
huh.
gonna go somewhere along that line for some reason.
I think it sounds cool. It doesn't sound as much rabbit holey to me. I think as much as
So you just said Rick and Morty and something else, and I was like, wait a second, is he gonna unintentionally go this route too?
no. I
The
see where you came from though. But how what is too far in terms of integrating the human body, I guess, with technology?
um
Because currently, we have things. We have a mechanical heart that you can get to where your heartbeat is now gone, but it will pump blood for you. You know, I I'm not super well versed in the medical industry, of course, but and there's a lot of other medical things you can do. I'm trying to think of like what are some more advanced stuff that we have.
the basically getting a chip implanted in you so that way you can open stuff or like
Elon Musk, really, and that's a lighter one. Elon
well
Musk
see
one's more intense. Yours is like putting an RFID chip or whatever in you, like in a hand or something, and using it to unlock your car or like for a safe.
because I
Like, and
remember
people
somebody
do that.
did that in the 2000s, I think, if I remember correctly.
And so people do that now. I've watched a video, I think maybe by Vice or something on Snapchat, which is really cool. That I'll get little short snippets about random cool topics. And one of them was about like someone, like this really tattooed up dude that was like wanting to integrate himself with technology and doing like implants and stuff to himself. And most of it was kind of cosmetic, but he did have some stuff going on with chips and things he put into his hand to unlock certain things, like a safe that can only be unlocked with a chip from his hand, or
Yeah.
like his car. When he goes to his car, it will unlock his car reading the chip in his hand. So he just grabs the handle and it unlocks, which is kind of what we have now with like the keys. Like they'll just unlock when you walk up to it. So not as necessary, but cooler in the sense of that you don't have an additional object. You're like a key fob you need. You never lose a chip in your skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what gets to the point of too far now? I mean, we have limbs. We can do limbs if you have a problem, but they're not like robotically powered limbs. Pretty sure. They do have one I think that has the ability that like grip and stuff like that. Maybe that is for someone who can't really trigger it well. And
Well,
it,
I think it depends on the level of prosthetic you get and all that.
yeah, because
Because
they're
like
cheaper and it's more expensive.
it has been coming up a lot more recently,
But there's
and I
also some people, I don't know how it works, but some people are able to contract and uncontract their, their
well,
prosthetic hand, and I don't know
so
how that works.
because I saw a video of a guy talking about this, so they kind of like I can't remember exactly, but it kind of like made it to like throw insight to it, kind of like hoo- hooked to the nerves and all that, or kind of
Yeah.
like be able to like the nerves will be able to be like sense it and all that. So then it's just basically like he has his hand again.
So does that mean it has like a battery in it?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. I didn't
like
know
cause
that's
like
how it
one time
worked.
he was like, Because he was like, "What happens if your battery dies?" Well, take it out. Then he like walked, grabbed like a cable, because like he was gonna. I think he was doing something with the microwave in the video, or whatever. But like his arm like died. He was like, "Okay,
Oh.
take it out, take his nub off." I guess is what you would say, nub off, or the
Well,
rest
he
of his
has a
hand.
nub and he takes his hand off
Well, he'll
prosthetic.
basically disconnect from his prosthetic hand, is what I'm trying to say. And
Oh,
then
it died attached, and so he disconnects it.
no. So yeah, he disconnects him. Like he was like, I think about to open the microwave, but I
Yeah.
guess it died. So like he disconnects himself from the arm and then goes to his house, looks for the cable, and just plugs it in and lets it charge a little bit.
I got you. Okay. Hmm, interesting. So at what point have we crossed the line?
Well, honestly, I think this is something to be something of who you personally ask, because I feel like more people that are more religious will probably be not be willing to go as far with it, because it's not how, as they would say, God made us and all that, or in his image. Well, more people that maybe aren't as religious are religious but not or as religious, or like,
Mhm.
like they can be religious, they cannot be, but like, not super religious. People basically be like, or be more okay with it. Then you have people that be like, yo, this could be the next step of evolution for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
So
also true.
I think it depends on who you ask, and then like how far you can go. Because at one point, do we stop being human? Because like,
Ah,
if we able to upload ourselves or our consciousness to a mainframe and then get into like a robotic body or something like that, are we still human? Are we still alive and all that? It really gets really ethical, and like it gets more into the sci-fi stuff, like say Cyberpunk 2077, I think is what it's called,
yep, that's a good
or
game.
maybe like Detroit Becoming Human.
That's cool. I
It'll
haven't
get it
played it.
more into those kinds of territories. It's like what, like, and then you get into the whole. It's like, oh, then you get into more like that territory. It's like, are we human? Are we not? Is this the next step? Blah blah. It
Yeah.
can get real murky, and I think
I
it'll
think
depend on
really
the person.
neat. Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience had a conversation with I think a former um what is it? Air Force pilot. Um and about like seeing an alien object and stuff like that. And without jumping too hard into that, essentially talking about the evolution of humanity and it kind of referencing as well the object and how it was able to like instantly just unlike nothing we have, able to instantly change direction at an insanely acceleration, just boom, and just like go and just like no resistance, go into water or something like that, which it did go into water in this scenario. But essentially, the evolution of humanity and like Joe Rogan mentioned, like I guess what his thought was on it. Really, it's just like if the evolution of humanity, if we are ultimately, we are a huge problem to ourselves, and it's essentially becoming like what sentient being is what we are. It's been a while since I've listened to this, but we essentially become. So like a merged consciousness, I think, over time. And the evolution oh, wait, no, I just got better at what I was trying to get to here. It's like we have our bodies, but eventually the evolution of humanity, if
We'll
it's
basically become a
possible,
hive mind.
um, I'm not positive if that point was made, but after I've said that, but what I just remembered though, it was the evolution of humanity long term is to eventually leave the burden of the body behind.
Yeah, but see, because like somebody like Joe Rogan, they will say that's the next step of evolution. Then if you ask somebody that's more religious, they'll be like, no, that's not what God intended for us and all that.
But if that's natural progression, but that's like really far.
Yeah, but
If
like,
that is a possibility, and if that's not God, if that's not what God intended, absolutely understand. But like if this is a ladder, and every rung you go up, something a little bit changes, like how our technology stuff
yeah,
goes, how we're able to put a robot heart into somebody to take care of them so they can live. The body is an aging item that will expire eventually,
yeah,
and so if the step, and then the next step on the ladder is to be able to leave the human body behind to live, I guess, forever. I guess that would be what the next step would be. What's to stop it?
yeah. Like,
You
it's just one
know?
of those things. Like, a lot of people, like it would just be like
Oh
a
God,
difficult thing for
I
people
just
to
remembered
say.
so much more stuff. Oh, it gets better. The other stuff that it's like that it talked about too. In order for us to keep evolving, we get to a point where things don't matter. So, I don't know if we've talked about this before.
Vaguely, because a lot of this is starting to sound vaguely
Uh,
familiar.
the things that don't matter. So, things that we have right now. We have this we're recording a podcast. We this is creativity here. And or like television and or having a television, having like comedy, having Netflix shows, having all these different types of cars, different colors that are cars or products in your home, 300 types of pans. All this stuff is made to be competitive or be creative or be a value prop, all this different stuff. It's really just think about it, inventing and everything is just creativity, right? To be moving up levels of through humanity and evolving is to leave behind the things that we don't need. And things that we don't need is emotions, love, creativity, all that stuff hinders us in our ability to work together as an entire collective towards one goal. Religion, all of that. Because why do we all fight? We've been fighting because of religion forever. People are still fighting right now because of religion. People are fighting because of love. You killed my wife in a car accident. He goes and kills that person's family because he took everything that he ever loved, and he's going to take it from them.
Honestly, I
Uh
thought you were gonna go with the Trojan War on that one,
oh, what's the
because
Trojan War?
The Trojan War was basically, well, we still
Oh,
don't know if it actually happened or not. There's more evidence to actually suggest that Troy actually did exist in ancient Greek time now, after recent findings about like 20 years ago. But basically, it's basically a war started over a princess and all that because
oh,
somebody
oh.
took her and all that. Then they basically just started a whole war with that.
Okay, I got you. But essentially, like,
Oh, hold on.
in order to transcend humanity to its next, maybe not our immediate next step, but just to transcending humanity to the greatest thing possible, as we go down that path, eventually it could be for some, you could foresee it in his way. And I think it sounds crazy about how much I think I can relate to it is that the further along you go, if we are to work together in a way to where we all work together. Because if we all work together right now without any differences or anything like that, we would be so far into the future in every way because we don't destruct our own selves, our own creations. And it's just crazy that concept of as you move to everyone's working together towards a common goal, which would be the prolonging of the human species, I guess, would be to lose the things that don't matter, which is everything we love about life, everything that we enjoy. all whatever it is that you like to do, like to record your podcast, like to play video games, like to enjoy like Pokemon stuff, like to, have love for another person, love to be a father and a mother, all of that stuff, that love for someone else, everything like that, that creativity, comedy, whatever it is not important when it comes to working together towards the one goal of projecting humanity, I guess, as far and wide as possible to be and never be wiped out.
Yeah, like I've heard people talk about this, and it's like, and like they're like, is this going to be a natural evolution if we do stuff like that, or is this going to be like a forced evolution and all that? Like honestly, like this entire thing is like it's a big can of worms because then you get into like a bunch of ethics and then morality, the meaning of life, what is the soul and all that, and then like what's considered being alive and all that. But it's
Yeah.
a really interesting subject to talk about because I don't even know what I would say this is going too far. And I
Yeah.
don't know if I would say anything is going too far now. I don't know if I'll be willing to put my consciousness uploaded basically, but
I wouldn't want to try
I
that.
don't know if that would be going too far either.
Yeah.
Well,
I I th- I don't know if it's going too far, but I definitely think that it's not you
or is it also losing the meaning of life too?
losing the human element.
Yeah. Now, we're basically at about 40 minutes almost. So, Blaine,
I think unless we dig way deeper all of a sudden, I think that we have had a good time and we'll put it to rest because that's why it's a rabbit hole because you can just keep going.
oh, because I remember you and me were talking about trying
No,
to keep everything on time and all that.
100%. Well, trying to be around 30 minutes. That's not to be perfect, but I 100% agree. I thought it was about time to close the book on that.
Because
There's
honestly, I
a
don't
thought
have.
provoking, bit. Take
I
that with you. Do what you will.
Because I don't even. That's all I gotta say about it. Really, in the end, it's like I don't know if I would do this, but
And
I
I
don't
think
know if
that's
that's
the
going too
best.
far.
And I think that is when you have a really good question that is so thought provoking. You're like, I don't even know, like what to say,
Yeah,
and especially like you understand it, but like it's so complex in a sense. It's just like I don't know how to walk in this scenario. I think that's a good question.
yeah,
As long as you can talk about it a little bit, and then you just at the end, you're like, I can't make a solid decision. I think
yeah.
that's really cool. But all right, well, thanks everybody for coming around. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think this has been my favorite rabbit hole that we've done. Very thought provoking, and I really enjoyed these two topics. I don't know about you, but
Really gets you thinking and questioning stuff.
yeah, and I think that's really good for a person to do sometimes.
Yeah,
So, I don't think everybody really does that, and it's not natural to do it. You really gotta, unless you put yourself in this kind of information somehow. Oops, excuse me. Unless you put yourself in this kind of information somehow, you're not gonna have this kind of thought.
yeah,
That's one of the things I love and hate about certain movies that drive you through the movie and the car drives off a fucking cliff and there's a hole in your heart and you can just feel this gap and you're just like, I love it because it makes you feel that sense that you don't feel very often, and I hate it because I feel it,
yeah.
and I don't wanna feel it. Bec and so that's, like, there you go. But hey, everybody, well, thanks for being here. We won't keep rabbit holing our way around this thing. But yeah, let us know if you have any thoughts about it or like any other really cool theories. I know there's tons of them. They're all super interesting. Um, but yeah, you guys want to come check us out. You guys come check us out on Instagram, obviously. We got our Instagram going for Long Haul Podcast on Instagram. And then if you guys want to shoot us an email, sponsorship information, or the like, just to communicate, that's at ftlhpodcast at gmail.com, just like for the long haul, ftlhpodcast at gmail.com. Now, we record this whole thing too. Since we are just talking, we are looking at each other the whole time. and it was convenient. They're like, okay, well, we're just gonna record it and put it on YouTube. I mean, might as well if people want to watch it, put it on their TV or something, have a little visual. There you go. You got some little visual stuff going on, and every now and again, we got stuff going on that says, "Hey, you can see it if you were watching it." And other than that, if you guys want to comment and give us a like on those platforms that you can, that's like Spotify and stuff like that, and whatever podcasting platforms that allow you to go through and give some feedback and or like, that's really appreciated.
And don't
And
forget to share this with anybody you think would like this. How it does help us out more than you guys do realize.
yeah, and honestly too, what I would do, put ending it at this point here is that even if you don't, somebody else doesn't want to listen to it, take what you can from this, maybe do your own little bit of extra knowledge searching for it, and ask somebody, what do they think about this? It'll probably, especially someone that you like, or you can have a really smart conversation with, or someone who's willing to go back and forth a little bit. You can have a really interesting conversation from these kinds of topics that we just talked about today. So, yeah, thanks again for everybody being here. That's all I got, Brandon.
Nothing else. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, adios.